What's up, everybody, and welcome to Tino's Time. Yeah, I said it. It's Tino's Time Day. It's not Tino's Time Wrestling. We've been talking about wrestling a lot lately with everything going on in the wrestling world. So we're going to take a little bit of a break from that. And it is time for the Midsummer Classic. It's the middle of July. It's warm weather outside. Baseball's in full gear. We already halfway through the season. After the All-Star break, there will only be 80 games left, and there is so much left to be decided in this baseball season. So let's take a break and let's enjoy All-Star Weekend. In Los Angeles Dodgers were supposed to hold the All-Star game back in 2020, but because of the pandemic and everything like that, it did not happen. So they're getting the 2022 All-Star game. And what a midsummer classic it's going to be. We have the home run derby on Monday. We have the All-Star game on Tuesday. We got a bunch of activities. People are going to be doing the red carpet. There's going to be a lot going on Monday and Tuesday in the baseball world. And then, the baseball players get a few days off before we come back on Friday. So let me go and let's not waste any more time. And let's get into all of the action that's going to go down at the All-Star game in Los Angeles. And let's start off with Monday night on ESPN. We have one of my favorite things. I've really enjoyed the way that they've done it the last few years. It's the home run derby. We have 8 competitors. We have a guy that's trying to go for a 3-time, Pete Alonso, trying to become a 3-time home run derby champion. As you guys know, he's won the last 2 years and he's defending his title. So let's get into the bracket and let's go over the seeding and let's go. And I'm going to give you who I think is going to win. In the first matchup, we have the number 1 seed in Kyle Schwarber going up against one of the greatest baseball players of all time. He's going to go down in the Hall of Fame, Albert Pujols. In the second matchup, we have the number 2 seed, Pete Alonso, big baby Pete, big man Pete, like I said, trying to go for number 3, but Ronald Acuna Jr. coming in at number 7 seed. He's trying to dethrone the 2-time champ, and he's trying to prove that the Atlanta Braves can't just take home the World Series trophy. He's going to take home He's going to take home the home run derby too. Juan Soto, number 4 seed versus the Cleveland Guardians, one band man demolishing crew, Jose Ramirez. As a White Sox fan, I hate Jose Ramirez, but watching him hit home runs in the home run derby should be a good old time. In the last matchup, it's going to be Corey Seeger of the Texas Rangers versus Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners. And as of this recording, the Seattle Mariners have won 10 in a row. They're on fire. They don't know what who knows? Them and the Orioles might be in the playoffs by the end of the season. Who knows, everybody? Sorry about that. Dropped my phone for a second. But we have these 4 matchups. And now let's go into each matchup, and I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win and who's going to move on in each round. And remember, before we start, and before I tell you my picks, remember that they changed it, and it's not whoever gets the first 10 outs. They have a time limit, and then if you hit a gold baseball, you get an extra minute, and then, and I really enjoy this concept way better than when it was you get 10 outs, and then nobody's really intrigued, and, So with the first matchup of Kyle Schwarber and Albert Pujols, the number 1 seed versus the 8 seed, Pujols having a good season with the Cardinals, Kyle Schwarber doing his thing with the Phillies, and the reason why he's number 1 is because he's got the most home runs in baseball. But in this matchup, I'm going with the number 8 seed. I'm going with the Hall of Famer. I'm taking Albert Pujols to move on into the semifinals. Now for Juan Soto versus Jose Ramirez. These two, I feel like, could be the underdog and the very good matchup and the very unpredictable matchup of the first round, because these two are great home run hitters. They always say that the home run derby kind of messes up these guys' swings. But I mean, if you do it right, and somebody said it on ESPN a few days ago, I was watching one of the baseball games. If the pitcher throws it right and they get into a groove, you could just smack home run balls all day long. So we have, like I said, Juan Soto versus Jose Ramirez. And I'm going to go with Juan Soto to win this and beat Jose Ramirez by maybe like 2 home runs. In the third matchup, we have the defending champion Pete Alonso versus Ronald Acuna Jr. And I just said, can Ronald beat the two-time champ? I don't think he can. Pete Alonso is going to take this. He's going to move on to the semifinals, and he's going to be trying to go for number 3. In the final matchup, we have Corey Seeger versus Julio Rodriguez. And Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners has come out of nowhere. He's been doing his thing. Like I said earlier, the Mariners are on a winning streak. They're riding and they're climbing up the ladder. They're trying to come and be one of the best teams in the American League. Corey Seager has been figuring it out, doing his thing, especially after the Rangers had such a bad start to the season, and now they're kind of finally figuring it out, and they're finally learning how to play some baseball. So between Seager and Julio, I'm going to go with Julio Rodriguez on this one. Nothing against Corey, and Corey very well might win, but I'm going to take the underdog, and I'm going to take Julio Rodriguez to win this, and he's going to move on to face the defending champion, Pete Alonso. So for the semifinals, we got Albert Pujols versus Juan Soto, and we got Pete Alonso versus Julio Rodriguez. So in the semifinals for Pujols versus Juan Soto, I'm going to take Juan Soto, the young kid, to beat the Hall of Famer, and it's going to be one great matchup. And I think that this one is one that could end in very quickly and be very fast, and it could be, I think or very close, I shouldn't say, not quickly. It should be very close, like 1 or 2 home runs, maybe 3 home runs, I think will decide this one. Now, for the finals or the semifinals of the second round or the right side of the tournament, you should say, or whatever way you want to look at it. We got Julio Rodriguez and Pete Alonso. And Julio, he's going to put up a good fight, but Pete Alonso is going to show you why he is a 2-time defending champion and why he's going to move on to the semifinals or into the finals. So for the finals of the Home Run Derby, I got Juan Soto versus Pete Alonso. Can Juan Soto defeat the 2-time champ, and can he make sure that Pete Alonso doesn't make it a 3-peat? I think so. I'm taking the Washington Nationals outfielder, very own Juan Soto, to win the 2022 T-Mobile Home Run Derby. And, it should be really interesting to see how this Home Run Derby goes, because like I mentioned earlier, I really enjoy the way that they do this now, and the way it's not so, the way it was back in the day, we had the 10 outs and everything like that. So at the end of Monday night, after we're done, we're watching some wrestling, some stuff that's on the TV. I'm taking Juan Soto to be your Home Run Derby champion of 2022. And then after the Home Run Derby, we all go to bed, we wake up, and then it's time for the Midsummer Classic game. And so now that we talked about the Home Run Derby and I told you how I think Juan Soto is going to win, let's talk about the All-Star game, and let me tell you who I think is going to win the All-Star game. And, this doesn't have much meaning anymore like it used to, where the winner would be able to get home field advantage for the World Series and everything like that. And, it's just very there's not a point. There's no reward for winning this. You get to go and you get to have all the activities and you get to go do all that fun stuff and have the red carpet and everything. And I love the opening ceremony when they announce the players and everything, but they just don't have a reward like they did. Like I said earlier, like I just said with the World Series, the winning team would win the World Series home field advantage, and they took that away, and it doesn't make any sense. But we're still going to have a good game. So let's go and let me name the starters for the All-Star game for both teams. And then we have some replacements, and then I'm not going to go through the whole roster because we'll be here until Christmas. So I'm just going to tell you the starters for each teams, and then I'm going to tell you some replacements, and then I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win. So let's start with the starters for the American League, and let's start at the catcher position. From the Toronto Blue Jays, we have Alexandro Kirk. At DH, we have the Los Angeles' own two-way player, Shohei Ohtani, doing his thing. At first base, we have another Blue Jay. He is the son of one of the best players ever to play the game, Vlad Guerrero Jr. At second base, he likes trash cans. He's a short dude. He loves doing his thing on the Houston Astros. It is Jose Altuve. He is changing the game. The most underrated shortstop in the game. Everybody might not like him, and everybody might say that he might not deserve it, but he's hitting over 300. He's figuring it out. White Sox are trying to figure things out, and your starting shortstop for the American League is Tim Anderson. Let's go, TA, doing your thing. And at third base, we have Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox, very own. Red Sox doing their thing. Rafael Devers. In left field, we have the mountain of a man for the best baseball team in the world, playing franchise mode in MLB, Giancarlo Stanton. For another Los Angeles Angel, he's been one of the best players in the game. People might say he's the best player in the game for the last decade, overall player, but his team can't get him to the playoffs, and he can't win nothing. It is Mike Trout. At right field, it is the guy that plays in right field with Giancarlo Stanton, the other mountains of a man, Aaron Judge. I said Aaron Jones. I meant to say Aaron Judge. Oops, Tino's mistake. It is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, that's funny. And then we have, let me see, because they have not, as of this recording, they have not announced a starter yet. So let me go over the starting pitchers for the American League that I think possibly could get it. And maybe, hey, who knows? Shohei Ohtani's playing DH. He very well might start at DH. But to be honest, people, I think they're going to give it to Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is having his 5th All-Star game, and I think that Garrett Cole is probably going to be the starter for the American League on Tuesday night. So now that we talked about the American League, let's go and let's talk about the National League. And let's start a catcher for the National League because he's on the north side of Chicago, the bad side of Chicago. They aren't playing great, and they need to get rid of this guy at the trade deadline. Wilson Contreras is your starter for the All-Star game at catcher for the National League. At DH, he is the guy that got a bunch of money. He's hitting home run balls. He is hurt right now, though, which isn't very good. Sadly, he won't play in this game. Bryce Harper. Hopefully, Bryce Harper gets better. But, as everybody knows, he got injured and everything like that. And, yeah, so hopefully Bryce Harper comes back better than ever. I could be completely wrong right now, but I swear I think Bryce Harper's hurt. Starting at first base, he's in the home run derby. We just mentioned him. I just thought he was going to go to the semifinals. It is Albert Pujols. Second base, it is a guy that nobody saw coming. This guy was it was amazing. And this guy is a baller. He is the second baseman. Let me make sure. Oh my God, people. Okay, he is the second baseman. I want to make sure because I almost said his name wrong. It is the second baseman for the Miami Marlins. Jazz Chris Holmes Jr. I probably said that last name wrong, but Jazz Jr., the second baseman for the Miami Marlins, is your starter. And Paul Goldschmidt is actually your starter for the All-Star game. Instead, I thought it was Albert Pujols. That's my bad. I thought that was Albert Pujols, but it is Paul Goldschmidt. I got that all types of messed up. We were doing good there until I forgot about Jazz. But the first baseman for the National League is Paul Goldschmidt. Second baseman is Jazz Jr. And your shortstop, he is Trey Turner from the Los Angeles Dodgers. At third base, we got the man from the San Diego Padres holding it down in San Diego, Manny Machado. And left field, we have Jock Peterson of the San Francisco Giants doing his thing, going left and right. And to be honest, people, I think the starter for the National League should be a guy on the Giants, but we'll get to that when we talk about the replacements. The outfielders, besides Peterson, we have Ronald Acuna Jr. We also have Mookie Betts, the shortstop, or he is the teammate of the shortstop for the National League. Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, or Trey Turner. Corey Seager's on the Rangers now, whatever. But that's okay. And like I did say, Bryce Harper is hurt, so it doesn't look like he will be playing. So, yeah. And like I said, I will say in a second who I think should start for the National League as the starting pitcher right now, because let's get into all of the replacements that are going to go down now that I told you the starters for the National League. So the replacements are JD Martinez was named as a replacement for Yonder Alonso because Yonder Alonso is dealing with an injury. And now this is the guy I'm saying that should be the starter for the National League. It is Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon is having one hell of a season for the San Francisco Giants. He's been doing work. He's been doing his thing. He hasn't been letting people down. And this is the guy the White Sox thought that they were going to get for a full season, but he wasn't able to stay healthy. But good for him. He is replacing Josh Hader due to Hader dealing with personal matters. Wilson Contreras was named as a replacement to be named and a starter in replace of Bryce Harper because, like I said earlier, Bryce Harper is injured. So as of now, I'm sure they'll figure it out, and I'm sure they'll figure out a new DH, but it will not be Bryce Harper. And Corey Seager was named as a replacement due to George Springer's injury. So Corey Seager wasn't originally going to be in the game. He was just going to compete at the All-Star game, or he was going to compete in the Home Run Derby, but Corey Seager is going to pull double duty. He's going to play Monday. He's going to play Tuesday, and he's only going to get a day and a half off. So Corey Seager doing your work. And as of now, those are all of the injuries and replacements. But, like I said, as of this recording, because of the players that remember people, the players that pitch on Sunday cannot pitch in the All-Star game. So even if like example, Dylan Cease pitches on Sunday, he could get announced for the All-Star game, but he still won't be able to pitch because he pitched on Sunday. And there's going to be other pitchers that pitch on Sunday that will have to be replaced on Monday. So just make sure to keep an eye on that because these are not the official rosters. It's subject to change, and it could change at any time. And somebody could get hurt over, we don't know. Somebody could get hurt and something could happen. But yeah. So now that we went through all the starters, the starting pitchers, the replacements and everything, who in the hell is going to win this All-Star game? Like I said, when we first started talking about the All-Star game, it doesn't mean anything. There isn't an award for it. There isn't like they give an award to the MVP, you get a trophy, I think you get a car or whatever, but it doesn't help anything in baseball. It's just a fun game, give guys a day off, have a little fun, take some selfies, whatever it is. And then the winner is the winner. I don't think that we're going to have extra innings either. I think that they might have a home run derby. I think that's official also. That don't quote me on that, but I think that is because they don't want the All-Star game to go like we have had in the past 17, 18 innings. So we'll have to see. But after the dust settles in Los Angeles, after we play 9 innings, hopefully we don't go to a home run derby. I'm going to take the American League to win this and beat the National League by a score of 8-7. I'll say 8-7. The American League squeaks it out. And then I will also say, since we're sitting here and I'm sitting here doing this, I will give you guys a bold prediction. And I will say Emmanuel Clase from the Cleveland Guardians will get the win, or he'll get the save in this All-Star game. So just a bold prediction. And I don't know who exactly would get the save or who would get the win because they change the pitchers every inning and, the starters only play a few innings. So we should have to see. But it should be a good time in Los Angeles on Monday and Tuesday. Your teams you can take a break. You don't got to worry about records for a minute. You can just watch some home runs. You can watch a good Midsummer Classic game. But there is one thing that is bothering me. And before I do go, I want to say it. What is with these uniforms, people? What is with these ugly ass uniforms that look like they put them in poop, smeared them around, and then they told the baseball players to wear it. Why can't they just wear their uniforms of their teams in home or away like they always have? I don't understand why we got to change everything, why we got to change the jerseys. I know it's something so little, but it just irritates the hell out of me that they had to change the jerseys and they had to change everything because of whatever the hell they had, whatever excuse they had to come up with. So other than that, I'm excited for this. And I can't wait until Monday and Tuesday. But I just needed to get that off my chest because the uniforms, I saw them and I was just like, they're gross. And I just had to puke. It was gross. So, yeah. But like I said, I'm going to take the American League to win 8-7. And I'm going to take Emmanuel Clase to get the save. And I'll take, since we're sitting here, I'll take Nestor Cortez Jr. to get the win for the Yankees, for the American League. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming and watching this episode and coming and hanging out with your boy Tino. We haven't talked much about baseball this season and everything like that, but I want to start trying to do a little bit more baseball podcasts and talk a little bit more. So make sure if you like this episode, let me know in the comments. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Got to do some house cleaning. Make sure you tell all your friends and family to come and subscribe to your boy Tino. We have a lot coming up on Tino's Time and Tino's Time Wrestling, especially in the wrestling. Got SummerSlam. We just had Fighter Fest last week. We got more Fighter Fest this week. We got, like I said, SummerSlam. We got Clash at the Castle. We got a lot going on. So make sure to subscribe and make sure to come and hang out with your boy Tino. And like I said, I'm going to make sure to do some more of these podcasts for baseball and everything like that, because we can't forget about baseball. And football's also starting soon. And we got to get back into the fantasy football gear and head. Got to make sure we defend our championship. So just keep an eye out for that, everybody. So again, thank you, everybody, one more time for coming and hanging out with your boy Tino tonight. Or I should say not tonight, this morning, and watching this All-Star game, Home Run Derby pre-show. Make sure to go and keep an eye out for the first ever Tino shorts. And the first episode is the biggest All-Star snubs. Since it's All-Star week, since it's All-Star week, let's talk about the All-Star snubs. So go to make sure to check out Tino's Times Shorts first episode. And I'm going to tell you what I think and how I feel about all of the players that were snubbed. Luckily, Corey Seeger got in because he deserved it. And he's one of the guys I talk about on that show. So thank you again one last time, everybody. Go make sure to follow Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter, Tino's Time on Instagram, Facebook, all your social medias, Tino's Time Wrestling on all your social medias, all you wrestling freaks and geeks out there. I hope everybody is a safe and happy week. And until I see all of you for Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest Night 2, and Friday Night SmackDown this week, I hope everybody has a safe day. And until next time, this is your boy Tino, signing out.